Rare earth elements are fundamental to the automotive industry. They are not always rare in terms of geological abundance. However, their extraction and processing are complex and concentrated. These elements possess unique magnetic, catalytic, and luminescent properties, making them indispensable in many modern technologies. For vehicles, specific rare earth elements are crucial for manufacturing high-performance permanent magnets, enabling miniaturization and efficiency in various automotive components. Without a steady supply of these materials, automotive production faces significant challenges. The industry's reliance on them has grown substantially with technological advancements in vehicles. The key rare earth elements utilized in automotive magnets include neodymium, praseodymium, dysprosium, and terbium. Neodymium and praseodymium are primary components of the powerful neodymium iron-boron magnets. Dysprosium and terbium are often added in smaller quantities to enhance the magnet's ability to retain their magnetism at higher temperatures. This is a critical characteristic for automotive applications where components can experience significant heat. Samarium is another important rare earth element used in samarium cobalt magnets, which also offer high performance and good thermal stability, making them suitable for demanding environments. The applications of these rare earth magnets within a vehicle are numerous and diverse. They are vital for electric window motors, ensuring smooth and reliable operation. Power steering systems rely on them for efficient assistance to the driver. Seatbelt retractors use small but strong magnets for safety mechanisms. Modern headlights, particularly advanced LED systems, incorporate rare earth elements. High-fidelity sound systems and speakers in cars use these magnets to produce clear audio. Even seemingly simple components like windshield wipers and anti-lock braking systems depend on the unique properties of rare earth magnets for their optimal performance and compactness. Specifically, neodymium iron-boron and samarium cobalt magnets are integral to the automotive sector. Neodymium iron-boron magnets are favored for their exceptional magnetic strength relative to their size and weight, making them ideal for applications where space and efficiency are paramount, such as in electric vehicle drivetrains. The main traction motors in electric vehicles heavily rely on these powerful magnets. Samarium cobalt magnets, while sometimes more expensive, offer superior performance at very high temperatures and better corrosion resistance. They're used in critical sensors, actuators, and smaller motors throughout the vehicle, contributing significantly to overall functionality and the push towards electrification and enhanced driver assistance systems. China currently holds a commanding position in the global rare earth market. The nation controls approximately 70% of the world's rare earth mining output. Even more critically, China dominates the processing stage, responsible for around 90% of the refining and separation of rare earth elements into usable materials. This near monopoly gives China significant leverage over global supply chains. Industries worldwide, including the automotive sector, are heavily dependent on Chinese exports. This dominance was not accidental, but the result of long-term strategic planning by Beijing. This level of control over such critical materials presents considerable geopolitical and economic risks for other nations. China strategically cultivated its dominance in the rare earth sector throughout the 1980s and 90s. The Chinese government offered substantial incentives to develop its domestic industry. These included access to cheap land for mining and processing facilities. Permitting processes were often streamlined and less stringent. Furthermore, environmental regulations were minimal or loosely enforced during this period of rapid expansion. These factors allowed Chinese producers to undercut competitors on price. Consequently, many rare earth mines and refineries in Western countries, which faced higher operational and environmental compliance costs, were forced to close down, ceding the market to China. In a significant move in April 2025, China tightened its export regulations for these vital minerals. The new rules stipulate that 7 out of the 17 key rare earth elements now require a special government-issued license for export. This measure grants Beijing greater control over who receives these materials and in what quantities. The affected elements are critical for numerous high-tech applications. This policy shift is widely seen as a strategic maneuver to protect China's domestic industries. It also serves as a powerful tool in international trade negotiations and geopolitical positioning, impacting global manufacturers reliant on these materials. The immediate consequence of these tightened export restrictions was a palpable squeeze on global supply. In April 2025 alone, China's exports of rare earth magnets fell by over 15%. This sharp decline sent ripples across various global industries. The automotive sector, a major consumer of these magnets, felt the impact almost instantly. Companies began to face shortages and rising prices for essential components. This situation highlights the vulnerability of supply chains that depend heavily on a single source for critical raw materials. The reduction in magnet exports underscores the direct power China wields over numerous technologically advanced manufacturing sectors worldwide. The Indian automotive industry finds itself in a precarious position due to its significant reliance on China. Specifically, India imports a large volume of specialized rare earth magnets. These include the widely used neodymium iron boron magnets and samarium cobalt magnets. These magnets are not minor components, they are integral to a wide array of automotive parts. Their applications range from motors that adjust seats and power windows to the main electric drivetrains in the burgeoning electric vehicle market. This dependency creates a direct vulnerability to any disruptions in China's supply chain or changes in its export policies. This vulnerability has quickly translated into serious concerns for Indian manufacturers. Following China's recent export restrictions, several Indian automakers and component suppliers have issued stark warnings. They have alerted the government to the potential for severe production disruptions. Some industry leaders have stated that assembly lines could be forced to halt operations as early as the end of June or early July 2025 if an immediate resolution to the magnet shortage is not found. Such a stoppage would have cascading negative effects, impacting employment, economic output, and consumer availability of new vehicles, particularly the advanced models. Ironically, India possesses substantial domestic rare earth reserves. Estimates place these reserves at approximately 7 million tons, ranking India as having the world's fifth largest deposits of these valuable minerals. However, despite this natural endowment, India's actual production of rare earths is remarkably low. In 2023, the country produced only about 2,900 tons, accounting for less than 1% of the total global output. This stark mismatch between reserves and production highlights a significant missed opportunity. It also underscores a long-standing issue in India's resource management and industrial policy regarding these strategic minerals. The historical reasons for India's limited rare earth production are multifaceted. For decades, the sector was dominated by a single public sector undertaking, India Rare Earths Limited. India Rare Earths Limited's primary focus was on extracting monazite sands from beach minerals. The main goal was to secure thorium for India's nuclear program. This strategic priority led to a neglect of developing commercial refining capacity for the full suite of other available rare earth minerals. Furthermore, the private sector was largely excluded from participating in rare earth mining and processing for a long period. This constrained investment and innovation in the broader rare earth value chain within India. The current disruption in magnet supply poses a direct and immediate threat to India's ambitious green mobility goals. The faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles scheme relies on a steady increase in electric vehicle production. Production stoppages due to magnet shortages could lead to manufacturers missing critical deadlines. This, in turn, could result in the loss of valuable government subsidies. Such setbacks would undermine India's efforts to promote clean transportation. They would also jeopardize the nation's aspirations of becoming a significant electric vehicle export hub, impacting long-term industrial and environmental targets. The crisis underscores the urgent need for a robust domestic supply chain. Addressing this challenge is not a simple task. Replacing these specialized rare earth magnets in automotive systems is a complex and lengthy process. It would necessitate the complete redesign of entire automotive systems and components. Such redesign efforts could potentially take several years to develop, test, and implement. This is not a short-term fix for the current supply squeeze. Therefore, while long-term alternatives are explored, India needs immediate and medium-term solutions. These solutions must focus on securing existing magnet types or finding viable, quicker-to-implement alternatives to maintain production continuity in the automotive sector. To mitigate future crises and build long-term resilience, India must adopt a multi-pronged strategy. A key element is a significant investment in developing local rare earth processing capabilities. This means moving beyond just mining the ores to refining them into high-purity individual rare earths and then manufacturing magnets. Simultaneously, India needs to actively work towards diversifying its sources of supply for both raw and processed rare earths. Establishing strategic buffers or stockpiles of critical rare earth materials can also provide a cushion against sudden global supply shocks. These measures require substantial government support and private sector participation. Exploring alternative technologies offers another avenue for reducing dependency. Research into ferrite magnets, which use more common materials like iron oxide, could yield viable substitutes for some applications, albeit often with a performance trade-off. Magnet-free switched reluctance motors are another promising technology for electric vehicles, eliminating the need for rare earth magnets altogether. Furthermore, fast-tracking rare earth recycling initiatives presents a significant opportunity. Extracting valuable magnets and elements from e-waste, such as discarded electronics and from end-of-life electric vehicles, could create a valuable secondary source of supply, promoting a circular economy for these critical materials.